Good morning, friends. Last week in reading, we were talking about how the setting of a story is where the story takes place. So it could take place at somebody's house, it could take place outside in the backyard, or it can take place maybe at school or at the park. So we're also going to learn a little bit more about setting, and it can be where and when a story takes place. So when we think about when a story takes place, it could be a bunch of things. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, it could be at nighttime, or it can be things like what time of year. Is it summer? Is it fall? Is it winter? Is it spring? Or it could even be certain holidays, which we have a holiday coming up this week. Do you remember what holiday is coming up this week? Christmas. I knew you knew that answer. So that could even be when a story takes place. Now, I have a book here that I'm not going to read. It's a very, very long book, but it's The Polar Express. I'm sure some of you have read this book before. Maybe you've seen the movie before. Actually, we were planning to watch the movie together in school before the Christmas break, but now that we're home, unfortunately, we don't get to do that. But maybe you can watch it at home before Christmas or over the break with your family. I'm just going to show you a couple pictures in this book so we can just get an idea of where and when this story takes place, because there's some really good pictures in here that help you understand when and where the story takes place. So I'm going to hold this up close to the camera. I got a little bit of a glare here. All right, so when I look at this picture, friends, can you tell what time of day this is happening, this scene in the story? What time of day? Does it look like the morning? Does it look like the afternoon? Or does it look like nighttime? Well, my clue, it looks really, really dark. Can you see the sky is dark with the stars? So probably nighttime. Now, it could be really, really early in the morning, too, when the sun hasn't come up yet. So far it looks like when this story is happening is at nighttime. Well, let me ask you something else. Do you see what's falling from the sky? Do you see all those white dots? What do you think that is? Snow, right? Yeah, so what do you think, what time of year is the Polar Express happening? Is it happening in the summer, in the fall, in the winter, or the spring? What do you think about that? Probably winter snowy time. Yeah, that seems to make sense. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple other pictures and see if you can tell me where or when the story is happening. So we're thinking it's happening at nighttime in the winter. All right, there's another little clue here. So when I look at the first page of the story, there's a little boy who's peeking out his window, and it looks like he was in his bed. So that's another clue to me that this is probably nighttime. He's probably supposed to be sleeping, but he's peeking out the window. I wonder if he hears something outside. All right, and then that's our front cover. I'm going to show you another picture. So this is actually part of the front cover too, but then they show the train outside his window. And I know this is outside of his window because if I look here, I see another house across the street. So it looks like a neighborhood. Looks like the train is pulling up in a neighborhood. It would be like if you looked outside your bedroom window in your neighborhood, you saw a train in the road. That would be silly. Ooh, now look at this picture. Now, he's not looking at his bedroom window anymore, and there's no train in the middle of the road anymore. Where are all these children and these people? Where do you think they're sitting right now? I think they're sitting on the train. So it looks like now the setting has moved to on the actual train. Let's see. I'm going to go past a couple more pages here. Let's fast forward and see if they're still on the train. Oh, there's lots of pictures of the train going by. It's going through a town. Oh, look at this. Hey, friends, who's in this picture? Right here. What do we think that is? Looks like Santa Claus. Those people here. One over here too. Maybe Santa's elves? Maybe. All right, so if we're seeing Santa and probably some elves, is there a certain holiday coming up in this story? Maybe Christmas. So friends, this seems to be taking place at nighttime, probably wintertime because there's snow. But now we're seeing Santa, so that really gets me thinking. It's Christmas time, it's winter, and it's still pretty dark out, so this is probably all taking place at nighttime. So friends, that's what the setting of a story is all about. When and where a story's happening. So here's actually another picture of the little boy in the story and Santa. There's some reindeer, huh? Definitely a Christmas story. And you probably knew that because you probably already knew about the Polar Express. But this was just in case you needed some clues. Let's see. Oh, look here. Where are they still in this picture? Where does it look like? Looks like they're still on the train, sitting in a seat. I see the seat right back here. Actually, the little boy actually looks really sad, and it looks like the friends are trying to comfort him and make him feel a little bit better, huh? All right, let me fast forward again. All right, now look at this. This is the end of the story. Where is the boy again at the end of the story? Looks like he's back home again. It looks like the train dropped him off back at home. I see the train back here through the windows. So first the story started at his house, and the little boy was looking out his bedroom window. And then the story moved, the whole middle of the story, he was on the train. Now, if you haven't heard this story before, we don't know all the details, and we don't know what they did on the train or anything like that. But just by looking at the pictures, I got a bunch of clues that it started in the boy's house, then he got on the train, and at the end of the story, he was back at his house. So that is where the story took place. And when we think about when the story took place, we figured out it was nighttime. It was dark. The boy crawled out of his bed. It looked like winter time. There was snow. And then we got some more clues when we saw Santa and his elves that it probably was Christmas time. Great job, friends, gathering a bunch of clues about when and where a story takes place. So that is the setting of the story. We're going to do more with that again this week. See you later.